Hi there. This PowerPoint is going to walk you through some important foundational information about paragraph structure and organization. As we continue to move through this course and we continue to do writing, it's really important that we revisit some of these important concepts that you may have studied previously or you may already be doing, but it's something that taking some more conscious approach to that and some more careful consideration can really help to improve the overall quality of your writing. This PowerPoint is going to walk you through the elements of effective paragraph organization and the components of a body paragraph, which are the topic sentence, supporting sentences, and concluding sentence. So it might seem silly to start off with saying what is a paragraph, but it really is important to revisit what this definition actually is. A paragraph is a group of sentences about one main idea, and that is crucial to the understanding of a paragraph. A paragraph should have a topic sentence, supporting sentences, and a concluding sentence. And every paragraph that you write has a different purpose. Within longer pieces of writing, like an essay, there are multiple paragraphs, and each paragraph will serve a different purpose. So in an essay, for example, there is an introduction paragraph and a conclusion paragraph. Those are a little bit different from body paragraphs. So the rest of this PowerPoint is going to focus on body paragraphs. But just know that introduction and conclusion paragraphs are also very important, although the structure of those are a little bit different than what we're going to see here. Within longer pieces of writing, you will write several different types of paragraphs. And even in isolation, several different types of body paragraphs exist. Within something like an essay, you are likely to use various kinds within the body of your essay. And depending on how long it is, you would have maybe 2, 3, or maybe even more. So some of those types of paragraphs will appear in your essay, but it just depends on what the purpose of that paragraph is, what kind of information you need to give. So some types of paragraphs would be descriptive, process paragraphs, or definition paragraphs. Some writing may call for an opinion paragraph. There is also cause or effect paragraphs. Typically, we see one paragraph outlining causes and another outlining effect. You may see a paragraph that discusses both causes and effects, but it just depends on the length of the overall piece of writing. And then comparison paragraphs, talking about similarities or differences. All paragraphs, regardless of the type of paragraph that you're writing, will have some important parts in common. So all topics need a topic, which is the one thing the paragraph is about. It is the unifying factor of that paragraph. A paragraph also needs to have a main idea, which is different from the topic. A topic is more general. A main idea is what the author wants to communicate about that topic. So there's going to be a point of view with the main idea. And it is the most important thought about that paragraph. Typically, there is one sentence that will express the main idea, and that is your topic sentence. Then body paragraphs need details. This is the support for your main idea, and this comes in the form of evidence, facts, statistics, examples, explanation, reasons. Depending on the type of paragraph you're writing will depend on what kind of details you need to give. And then you need to wrap up the paragraph with a sentence to conclude. Usually this is some kind of summarizing information. So this is a little bit of an overview of kind of like the anatomy of a body paragraph. So not every single body paragraph will look like this, but this is a general guide that you could follow. So you'll start with a topic sentence, which has your topic, and then a limiting statement, which is something that focuses the idea. And this often sets out the major points that you're going to discuss. So just like a thesis statement guides your essay, a topic sentence is the guide for that particular paragraph. Then you may have another statement that follows the topic sentence where your main idea is clarified. So this is a transition from stating the main idea to before you start to give the details and the connecting ideas. Then within the main part of your paragraph, the body, is where you have sentences that develop the main idea. So it might contain a connector sentence that transitions from what your main idea is to your first support point. And then you're going to have your first supporting point, and this could be a reason, a cause, effect. It could be one example. So depending on the style of the paragraph, you'll have your first support point, and then you need to explain that support point. So this is where you would give details, evidence, explanation for why that first point is connected to your topic sentence. And then you're going to do that again for maybe the second and possibly a third support point. It just depends on how long you want this paragraph to be and how much information you need to include. So each support point that you include, you need to state your support point and then give facts, details, explanations, and your own interpretation. And then you're going to conclude your paragraph with a concluding sentence to wrap up all the ideas. So on the next slide, I'm going to give you a paragraph, and you can take a look at it. Look for the topic sentence. Look for a sentence that clarifies the main point. Then you're going to find some sentences that introduce supporting points and supporting details, so the details for those support points, and then a concluding sentence. So the next slide will be the paragraph, and then you can advance to the slide after that, which is going to show you which sentence belongs for each category. You can see the paragraph with the different sections highlighted in different colors. So you can see the topic sentence in blue is the first sentence. Then you have a sentence to clarify the main point. And then the next part is where you're going to introduce that first support point. And then the details follow in the other sentence right after. And then there's another sentence to show another support point. So another reason, another example, another piece of evidence with the supporting details to match. And then the final sentence is your concluding sentence to wrap up that information. When it comes to writing effective paragraphs, again, we're talking about body paragraphs, content paragraphs, not an introduction or a conclusion. There are some important pieces of information to be aware of. So you want to focus on one main idea. So it's really important to check that all of your sentences within that paragraph are connected to that main idea. That helps you to stay on topic. Organize your support points thoughtfully. So consider how you want to organize your ideas. Is there a particular order that is important? If you're giving steps in a process, order is very important. Whereas if you're giving reasons, you might want to consider what order is going to be most effective. Then you need to make sure that your evidence exists for your support points. So this is where you would use research to show that these points are valid. And then never forget that concluding sentence. You always want to wrap it up by providing some kind of finality to that paragraph. It's really important that we distinguish the difference between the topic and the main idea. So your topic is usually just something very general words or a phrase. So it could be, that your topic is something like improved patient outcomes. That's the topic. But your main idea is what the writer's view or goal about that topic will be for that paragraph. So for example, if your essay is about the importance of interprofessional collaboration and teamwork within a healthcare setting, the topic for your first body paragraph might be improved patient outcomes. Your main idea is where you have the point of view of that topic. So you might have something like, when a diverse team of healthcare professionals pool their unique knowledge and skills to develop a more holistic and robust treatment plan, the result is improved patient outcomes. So here you have the topic sentence is identifying the topic of the paragraph, and within that sentence as well, I know where I'm going to go within that paragraph. A topic sentence is generally the first sentence in a paragraph, and it's really important because it tells the reader what the focus of that paragraph is going to be. It must relate back to your thesis statement and show a clear relationship to it. So your thesis statement will guide what the content of your body paragraphs will be. So your topic sentence should then relate back to that thesis statement. The topic sentence will not include specific details or support points. It will not give examples. You can think of it as an introduction to the paragraph. And as I mentioned before, it's often the first sentence, but there are times when it could be more effective as maybe a second or third sentence within the paragraph, especially if you're trying to show contrast or make a connection to a previously mentioned idea. Some tips for writing a strong topic sentence. You want to limit the topic and make a clear statement about it. So choose something that is small enough from the larger topic that you can cover within a paragraph, but not too small and specific that there's not going to be enough content. So for example, here I have a sentence. Telemedicine is popular in Canada because many people like it. So I can see that my topic is telemedicine, and maybe this paragraph will talk about reasons why it's popular or why people like it, but it's really too broad of a topic. So this is not a good topic sentence. Instead, we could write something like, one reason telemedicine has become increasingly popular in recent years is the convenience it offers to both practitioners and patients. So now I have limited the scope of this paragraph to focusing on just one reason for its popularity, and I can tell what that reason is within that sentence. So this would be a good topic sentence for a body paragraph. Another tip is use specific words and add a controlling idea. So if you look at the previous two examples there, we can see that we have some controlling ideas, like one reason. That's controlling the focus to just one point. And I know that it's going to be more specific because I'm talking about why it's become more popular recently. So I'm not just talking about it in general, but possibly about why it's become popular more recently. And I can see the focus is that it's going to be explaining, the paragraph will explain why it's convenient for practitioners and patients. So I've added specific words. Here's a couple more examples. Prenatal screening for birth defects is available to most expectant parents in Canada. Okay, so I have a little bit of an idea of my paragraph, but this to me just reads like a fact, something that I could easily find out in a search. I don't have a point of view here. Not a very good topic sentence. So instead, I can improve it to be something like prenatal screenings for birth defects provides expectant parents in Canada with crucial information that enables them to make informed decisions about their pregnancy. So this crucial information part, that's going to tell me that that is the focus of this paragraph. So it's much more specific and it's controlled to one particular topic of prenatal screenings. Here is an example paragraph. You can have a read through and you can see I've put the topic sentence in bold. So here the topic sentence is the first sentence. But as I mentioned, it is possible that you may want to have your topic sentence appear a little bit later. This paragraph is the same, except I've also now added in a sentence before my topic sentence, and this is providing a little bit more information and showing a little bit of a contrast. Some more examples of topic sentences. These show how there could be different purposes of your topic sentence. So the first one here shows a contrast of ideas. While animal rights activists cite ethical concerns, animal testing in the medical field decreases the amount of time required to research and produce a new drug. So here we have a contrast of ideas. We see that there's two sides to the issue, but I know from reading this sentence what the focus of the paragraph will be. The next sentence, in addition to the financial savings, living at home while studying in college or university decreases the stress of being homesick. This topic sentence serves really well within an essay because it provides a connection to the previous body paragraph's topic. So I know that looking at this topic sentence, the paragraph before discussed financial savings, and now this paragraph is going to talk about a different reason or a different aspect of the topic. And then we have the last sentence here. There is a great deal of evidence to suggest that social media use among teens is leading to higher incidences of depression and anxiety. So here, this is giving the main idea and it's previewing that this paragraph is going to talk about the research. By saying there is a great deal of evidence, I know now that this paragraph will explain what some of that evidence is. So depending on what kind of information you want to give, you can structure your topic sentence to give different kinds of a focus point or draw connections to different parts of your writing. So at this time, you can pause going through the slides and write 3 practice topic sentences. So imagine you are going to be writing an essay and your topic, or I should say your thesis that you've written is an effective patient-doctor relationship is based on 3 essential elements: trust, patience, and responsibility. So we'll learn more about thesis statements later. But from here, I can see that my body paragraphs are going to explain those 3 essential elements: trust, patience, and responsibility, and why that's important to the patient-doctor relationship. So I want you to now take a couple minutes to try to write a topic sentence for each body paragraph. So imagine you are writing 3 body paragraphs. You're going to write 3 topic sentences for an essay with this thesis. Once you have your topic sentence, then most of the rest of your paragraph will focus on supporting the main idea introduced in that sentence. So you need typically 2 to 3 support points for that main idea. And these help strengthen your argument and provide details, usually in the form of facts, quotes, paraphrases, summaries. These could be examples, statistics, or explanations. So you need to pick your support points carefully and choose ones that help prove your thesis. So select details that are relevant, current, and enhance your main idea. Some things to remember about your supporting sentences is that each support point you introduce needs to be explained. So, for example, if you are writing a paragraph that's giving reasons for something, you would give a reason and then you need to provide an explanation for why that reason is true. Facts, data, examples, explanation, whatever information you can find to support that will help to develop and show a connection to your main idea. And you want to make connections between your support points with transitions. So when you introduce a second or third supporting idea within a paragraph, use transition words or phrases like similarly, in addition, another reason is. These really help to organize and add flow to your writing. And don't forget that you need research in your writing to help support your ideas, but you also need to use your own words and your own ideas to explain how the research connects to your main point. The research is there to support your ideas, not make your ideas for you. This is one of the paragraphs that we've already taken a look at, but here I've organized the information by showing you in different colors where the information is supporting ideas and where it's adding some explanation to some of those ideas. The final part of your paragraph is a concluding sentence, and this brings your paragraph to a close by wrapping up the main idea. And there's a couple different ways that you can end a paragraph and conclude. Usually you would restate the main idea, and you would kind of take the ideas from your topic sentence, but use different words or phrasing just to restate that idea. You could summarize the main points that you make, but the important thing is that it indicates to the reader that the one main idea is finished, and then we know that another is going to begin in the following paragraph. So here's the paragraph again, and I've highlighted that in red. So once you have your topic sentence, your supporting points, and your concluding sentence, you need to put it all together to make your paragraph. And of course, don't forget to use a variety of sentence types to give your paragraph cohesiveness and flow. Use a combination of various sentence types so that your writing does not become repetitive and boring. This is a really great resource that you may want to look into. I use this to help me with this lesson, a writer's workshop. It's a great text. It's a little bit older, but the information is still very important. So if you want to dive a little bit deeper, this is a great one.